Good morning. Um, Wait, what do I do? It's 7:12 a.m. on Thursday, December 16th, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis. I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. I'm feeling a little bit like pre-frazzled this morning. It's raining outside right now, and Rocket didn't want to poop when I took him out, so I'll probably have to take him out again before I go to work. And then I'm going into the office today, but just in the morning, because then I have to come home and take Rocket outside and give him dinner before I go back into the city for a doctor's appointment. And then after the doctor's appointment, I'm going to drive straight to like a work social function thing, which will last into the evening. And you know what? All of that is honestly, frankly, pretty manageable, but it is a larger than usual number of things that I have to do in a row, and a number of different things, I should say. Like it's one thing to say, I'm going to work all day and then come home. Or even, I'm going to work all day and then go to a thing. But work all day and then have to come home before I go to one thing and then to another thing. That starts feeling like a lot. And, I'll be fine, but my brain is definitely spinning up a little bit in terms of like, well, isn't that a problem? And the rest of my brain having to say, no, no, it's fine. Are you sure though? Seems like it might be a problem. I don't think so. Not really. It's fine. This is the order you do things in. You know what times you need it. Anyway, I got really frustrated last night because I've been playing, as I previously mentioned, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. And I just got to basically the final boss fight in what I believe was a DLC content originally called the Teeth of Naros. And frankly, looking back on it in the light of a new day, I am almost amused by how extreme the difficulty spike is with this one boss fight, where I've been rolling through that game with very little difficulty up to this point, just plowing through most encounters to the point where I would almost say complain that the game was maybe too easy. And then all of a sudden, just boss fight where I die 6 times in a row without really feeling like I'm making any progress in it. And it's one thing if this is like a Dark Souls game or something like that, where you really have to figure out how to deal with the enemy's attacks, and it's very difficult, but it's always fair. This one feels cheap and stupid, and so I got so frustrated that like when I realized I was making Rocket nervous by being so mad, I kind of calmed down a little bit. I looked up on Google to see like, am I just missing something? Is there some detail about how this is supposed to work? And it turns out the answer is no, that fight's just BS, and everybody thinks so, and it just is not good. And it's very disappointing because I frankly had been really invested in the story at that point, and now, because there's nothing to be done except grinding levels some more before I go back, I had to so like the story had built to this crisis moment where I'm now facing down the bad guy as he's planning to destroy a city. But now, nope, I just have to run all the way back out of that cave and then just go to some other part of the world and do other things for a while before I eventually come back. And it just really breaks the immersion in a disappointing way. Anyway, it is what it is. But I've also been, I had a fun session of Dungeons and Dragons last night in a game that I'm a player in. I've just been thinking more about like the So Many Levels game. We've been doing a complicated dungeon map in latest bit, and been experimenting in the last couple of episodes in this complicated map with the dynamic lighting features in Roll20 that are designed to make it so each player can only see what their character should be able to see on the map. But honestly, every time I try to deal with those more complicated features, it just gets so fiddly that I feel like I'm spending 40% of my mental energy just navigating the technology, and it makes me impatient in a way that lessens the fun. And so, although it's cool in principle, I think honestly, in the grand scheme of things, the actual execution of it makes it less fun for me. So, I think it's maybe a lesson learned that I've already learned more than once, and I'm learning again. That maybe I just don't do that stuff. Just let it be a regular map. It can look cool on the screen. It doesn't have to do fancy dynamic lighting where someone can only see 20 feet because they're holding a torch instead of having the room be lit up. Like, I don't know, not worth it. In any case, I will leave it there because I've got stuff to do, as previously discussed. And I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.